welcome to Black Hair in the Big Leagues, y'all. I'm your host, Salisha Thomas, and today is a special day because we've got an all-star panel for you today to meet. They are the OGs of beautiful, the Carole King Musical, and I'm so excited to be joined by them today. I'm going to give a brief introduction for each of them, but truly, y'all, everything that I say, there is just so much talent in the room that there's no way I'm going to be able to capture it all. Let's start it off with Yasmeen Sulieman. I love her so much. If you don't know, she is a recording artist known for blue jeans. Yes. Yes.
Really? You had to start with that?
Wait, that's my intro.
I can't. Also, it needs to be said that I'm OG-ish. I got tacked on.
She says OG-ish, but she truly has been there since the beginning for Beautiful, the Carole King Musical. She also has other hit singles out that are played in clubs around the world, overseas, for real, for real. That is true. Her voice is her voice is so unique. It's something that can't be duplicated, and at the same time, she can sing anything. And what I love about her is, for being a longtime cast member in Beautiful, she had a way of being direct and telling the truth, but also being respected by everybody, being loved, and still having fun in the building. And she also, in other Broadway things, she also toured with Little Shop of Horrors, and she's amazing. Please welcome Yasmeen Sulieman. Woo!
Thank you, Salisha.
Yes, girl. I love you. All right, next. What was that?
Nothing. Keep going.
Did you say you love me too?
I did. I said I love you, but let's not dwell on it. Just who's next?
Oh my goodness.
You wouldn't know that was real.
I'm going to replay that on repeat. Next up, we've got Gabrielle Reid. She was in the beautiful production.
That's going to be your ringtone.
It's going to be my ringtone. Y'all, Gabrielle was in the Broadway production of Beautiful and Hairspray, y'all. She also toured with The Color Purple, Happy Days, and Mamma Mia. Her TV and film credits are endless, including but not limited to The Private Life, The Blacklist, Shades of Blue, Manifest, Living with Yourself. The list goes on. During this quarantine, how many times have I watched the TV and she walks across my screen? I'm like, I know her. Not to mention, she is a new mom. Please welcome Gabrielle Reid.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, girl. Next up, we've got the legendary Rashidra Scott. Y'all, Rashidra has a voice. It is like butter and sex and warmth and soul. It is everything that you wish was playing on your cast recording. I could listen to her all day on my cast recording for Beautiful, which I did. Let me play that on repeat one fine day. I can listen to her all day on my cast recording of Ain't Too Proud, which I do. She is the actual bomb. She was also in Avenue Q, Hair, Finian's Rainbow, Sister Act, and right before this pandemic, she was about to open Company on Broadway. Y'all, help me welcome Rashidra Scott. The crowd goes wild. And last, but certainly not least, we've got Ashley Blanchet, who she and I toured together with Beautiful, the Carole King Musical, but trust, before we toured together, I absolutely knew who she was and was so starstruck that, oh my goodness, I'm now performing alongside of this legend. She's got a voice of steel. I don't know how that it just comes. It's like, anyway, no, we're going to cut that part out. She was in Beautiful on Broadway, Annie on Broadway, Memphis on Broadway, and she recently starred as the most perfect Cinderella in Paper Mill Playhouse's version of Cinderella. Not to mention, I don't know why Frozen was not on the list. Please help me welcome Ashley Blanchet.
Thank you, Salisha. That was so sweet.
Y'all, welcome. What is up?
Thanks, girl.
Yes.
I want to say thank you for setting aside time today because y'all, whoever is listening to this is election day.
Day.
Hmm.
Day. I'm actually really glad we're doing this today because it's really giving me a second to put my anxiety up on that shelf back there and be here in real time with some real people talking about real things and just walk away for a minute. So I'm really glad this happened today.
Absolutely.
Ignoring everything until
Me
about
too.
8 o'clock tonight.
Literally, me too. That's what I said. Yep.
Absolutely. I ran into a neighbor when I was taking my walk right before this, and she said, you know, Salisha, it feels like the country is waiting for results of a biopsy.
Oh my God.
Truly.
Yeah.
That's a really real way to put it. That is
It's so
For
true. It's
real.
going to be emotional either way. No matter what happens, I'm going to be bawling.
100%.
No matter what. And for those of y'all who are listening in, Ashley, you are in Los Angeles in the most beautiful setting, but also in a dog park. So we will have a couple barks. It's okay.
Sorry, guys. I try to keep it on mute when I'm not talking.
No, it's all good. I just want to check in first before we dive into hair and everything and just see like, how is everybody doing? Is everybody okay? Deep breath.
I mean, to be expected, like as well as you can be,
That's
you
true.
know, like
it
considering
goes-
everything that's going on. It's just
Yeah, I think it goes by the day.
Yeah.
I obviously
sometimes
have
by
a-
the hour.
Yep, sometimes by the hour. I obviously have a different situation with a tiny human that needs me no matter what. He has no idea what's going on. He doesn't know what a quarantine is. He doesn't know who Trump is. He's like, I'm hungry. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh, okay. You know what I
Unaffected.
mean? So unaffected, which is brilliant, actually. But, just depends. It depends on the day, on the minute.
I know, Rashidra, I know that you just had a birthday. How was it?
It was great. I spent the day. So my pivot has been, we turned a portion of our walk-in closet into a studio space. So I spend lots of time in the closet, being
Nice.
annoyed at the noise coming from upstairs.
Right.
And the fact that apparently they did not soundproof between the floors when they converted this building from a warehouse to apartments.
That's
As evidenced by the fact that I know that my upstairs neighbors like to listen to the Daily as they're preparing dinner, and I can hear the low end of Michael Barrow's voice coming through my ceiling as they're cutting things on the countertop.
Wow, that's
You
too
can
much.
hear the
Wow, cutting the
countertops.
countertop?
I literally hear, I can hear them opening and closing drawers. I've texted my neighbor, we're like, hey, what you doing in the kitchen? You cooking? She's like, yeah, girl, we just putting dishes away. And I was like, in the drawer? Like,
oh no.
No.
That's bad.
Oh geez. I am so
I just spent lots of time in the closet trying
Okay.
to not lose my mind. with
that's
that.
real.
But yeah, I spent the day in the closet recording a few voiceover auditions and doing a vote video. Hubby took me out to dinner. He had a surprise dinner for me Saturday night. So yeah, it was kind of perfect. It was great.
Yes.
It was our first
Aw.
birthdays. Our
Nice.
birthdays are 2 days apart, and it's the first time in 8 years that we've actually been able to spend our birthdays together.
See, and there's the silver
Wow.
lining
That's
of
awesome.
quarantine. Like this quarantine sucks, but also the quality time, also, you know. And I know what you mean about hearing your neighbors doing everything. For the last 2 years, I thought I was hearing my neighbors having sex, and I actually loved it. And then I realized that it was the washing machine. I'm like, ah,
Oh my God.
Oh, my college apartment, I could hear my neighbors having sex. Because my college apartment
Nice.
was a 2-bedroom that they put a wall up in my kitchen to turn it into a 1-bedroom
Nope.
and like a studio and a 1-bedroom. And I absolutely could you want to this part. I don't know what your rating is on your podcast, but I definitely overheard one night a squeaker, quiet. Oh my God, such a mess. Yeah, I know.
oh gosh, did we lose her?
Uh-oh, internet's going wonky.
My internet's terrible.
Oh
no.
shoot. Okay,
Uh-oh,
but I
am I
did get
back?
yes, you are back, but I
Okay.
definitely did get the just that. And so that is just how it be sometime. Okay, I do want to ask you guys with this election, how do we feel? And I say we, everyone can have a very different opinion about being represented, like having a Black woman a part of this race. Do y'all feel seen? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you think?
I mean, I think it's great that there's someone of color who's like gonna have a very different perspective if should she get into the White House, please.
Right.
I've never been like a huge fan of hers just because of some of her history with convictions. She was, anyway, we don't have to get into that. But I do love that there's someone who's not an old white man who could potentially be making decisions in the White House. That's a huge thing.
That's real.
I'm finding it difficult to get ahead of myself as far as like being excited. Like I was going to vote blue no matter what. And like, I felt like I got so burned 4 years ago because I really 100% believed that the country would see how fit Hillary was to be the president, in my personal opinion. And so I was just completely blindsided by the country not seeing that. And so I found it really difficult to like even let myself go there at all with Biden and Kamala, as much as I like want. I have, oh my God, I'm gonna be so freaking happy and relieved if it goes our way, but I'm afraid of like thinking about the details of it, or committing too much to thinking about it too hard, because I don't want to get heartbroken again. I have like PTSD about it.
Yes, I absolutely feel that. It's like I feel on fire today and I feel excited, but I'm not going into this being as cocky as I was 4 years ago. Oh,
exactly.
Totally.
That's pretty much where I am too, because I've just said I'm not going to look at anything until at least a good like 6 to 7 hours of Pacific Coast time voting. Because I was like, because right now it just doesn't even matter. There's no point of looking at it right now. Right. And I was really glad. I went out today to the grocery store, and I was really glad to see that like even in New York typically goes blue, but this was the first year that we did open early voting. And all week the lines have been just down the block. Yes. And literally today, nothing. Like literally, I think the entire New York City has been
We've already voted.
We've already gone.
That's amazing.
So everybody's just like, I'm in the house, I'm drinking, I'm getting high. Let's go.
Let's stay in the house.
It was really funny today. It was weird. Literally, one of the voting places was by the Trader Joe's that I normally go to. And I walked and I was like, wait, is this line for Trader Joe's or is for the voting? And they were like, Trader Joe's. I was like, okay.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right.
That's amazing.
We're going to keep our fingers crossed and we're going to pray. Because I would love for Broadway to come back. And so at the rate things are going, that doesn't look very happening. And so I'm hoping that we don't have to wait 4 more years for my freaking industry to come back. So I want to say, all right, so y'all who are in here, I'm like so inspired by you guys. One of the many reasons why I wanted to assemble you guys is all 4 of you have like, I've watched you, I've seen you embrace your hair. And this is a platform to where even if you wanted to straighten your hair, if you want to wear weaves, if you want to put perm, whatever, like we are not shaming any Black girl for how she wants to wear her hair, period. All of it is beautiful and all of it is worthy. But you guys in particular I've seen your natural hair. I've watched you work with it every day. I haven't worked with you, Rashidra, but I've worked around you, and I've seen you guys like work with it 8 times a week. And so I want to ask, like, how many of you guys grew up in a family where y'all's parents were like, yes, texture. Awesome.
But judging by these head shaking on this here screen, I'm gonna say none of us. My mom, if not close to cried when I sent her the picture when I finally did the chop, and she still to this day yells at me because I refuse to tame my edges. I just don't do it. She still yells at me now, and I've been natural for over 10 years now. So.
I laugh at my mom because she put a jerry curl in my head when I was in 4th grade. And I'm like, See, now had you just waited a little while longer to relax my hair, you would have known that's just the natural texture of my hair. You could have saved a whole lot of money.
Wow.
So true.
I know, that's what's so crazy is I feel like hopefully we're the last generation of parents that grew up feeling like they needed to straighten their daughter's hair immediately without even seeing what the texture was like. I look back on some of these pictures from my childhood and my hair was huge. It was full. It was big. It'll never, ever be like that again because of all the chemicals that I put in at like a very, very young age. And it's like, oh man, if I had just never touched it, what could it have been?
Whoa.
You know?
Yes. Yes. But the good news is, it's like, as long as you have hair on your head, like it is not, and even if you don't, like it is not too late. Like it does take patience is what I'm learning, but you can start any day is day one. And after a couple years, you gonna see something.
Sure.
And wait, what about you, Yazzie?
Honestly, I was actually the one. So, you know, I grew up in Hawaii, so I was usually the only Black girl 4 miles. And I really wanted to, my mom didn't want to straighten my hair. Because she was, I don't know, my mom she's like a fairy. I don't know. She was like, just wind. And I was like, what? And yeah, but I was around all these girls who had this straight hair. And I remember being in 6th grade and I was like, I just really want it. I really want it. And she took me to get my hair permed, and it was very straight until I walked out the door and that Hawaiian humidity said, okay. And it was pointless. And like, which might have been part of it too. She was just like, you want me to spend all that money for your hair to not be straight? Okay. Wow. But yeah, but I mean, I think we all kind of have to work our way back from that. Even like you were talking about, like you can start at any time, and some of us start over because all your hair breaks off, which definitely happened to me, because you're trying to make it do something it doesn't want to do. And then it's like, okay, well, I'm going to go. And so you kind of have to start from scratch anyway.
When was that? Like, just a little bit about your hair journey, Yazzie. Like, when did your hair break off? When did you go from straightening it? Because I know that your music video, Blue Jeans, honey, that hair was slick and laid, honey. What was the transition of, okay, I'm going from here? Because since I've known you, I've never seen you straighten your hair. I'm like thinking about it. I've never seen you straighten your hair.
Yeah, well, that music video, I had a weave in. My hair was this long, and they were like, put a weave in your hair. It was, but like, they were like, just put a weave in. It's better. It's easier. I was like, okay. And then they took it out, and my hair, whoever took it out, like cut my hair. So it was like this length. It was like right past my ears. So that was kind of traumatizing. And I think I like texturized my hair, you know, for like a few more years, and then was really like, why am I doing this? It's actually not that different. It's bad for my hair. And I just sort of started letting it grow out, and like learned how to take care of it slowly, and kind of, you know, sort of fell in love with my own texture, which is 7 different textures, but like fell in love with what was growing out of my head slowly, which I think everyone does that at their own pace and at their own moment. Cause you know, but yeah, that was it was sort of like a few traumatic moments of like chemicals that broke off, and it grow back, then it's, you know, then a weave, and then it's gone. And then you just kind of have to, Rashidra, that face. Yeah, exactly.
Because one, I'm thinking about that picture of you with all those little Hawaiian girls, and you were like, guess which one is me? Just that hair. And 2, I'm thinking about that time you did not listen to me when I told you which specific salon to go to, who specifically to call, and that some stranger botched your head. And I was like, girl, I told you.
Okay, well also that happened, but I was already natural.
That.
Honey, I went in, I was like, it's just a trim. This man ruined my life for 3 years.
No,
like, I got you. I cut curly hair. I came in and I was like, you guys. And I was like, just tell me the truth. And Gaz was like, turn around. And she was like,
I was like, I'm gonna get you, girl. I'm gonna work it out. I put some product, and I was pulling and tugging and doing the thing. And then got done. I was like, No.
Wow.
She was like,
I was like, it's not gonna work. It's bad. It's bad.
so I was in a wig
It
prep
looked
for
like an upside down step stool.
correct.
Oh,
It was literally
Correct.
like ladder stairs in the back of her head.
so
It was
bad.
really rough.
but see, this
Yeah.
is the beauty. This is the beauty of a dressing room when like people are looking out for each other. If it wasn't for the beautiful on Broadway dressing room, I would not be natural today. Period.
Yeah.
Not
You're
every dressing room.
Oh,
You get that right.
You're right. You're right.
that's real.
You
That's
said it.
real.
Most. I
That
have
is
been very
right.
fortunate to work in a lot of them, but
Yeah.
Salisha,
Wow.
at what point, Salisha, did you start feeling like, okay, I feel like this is something I even want to have a podcast about because I feel good about this? Because for me, I just feel like it's just a constant, like, oh, I think I got it, maybe for like a day before it goes back to being like, what temperature is this? What climate is this?
Right.
Why is my hair acting different today than it was yesterday? And so I think your hair looks so beautiful. And I'm wondering if you're saying like, you know, you wouldn't be natural except for the beautiful girls dressing room. Can you explain like, when was the moment that you were like, I feel good about this natural?
You know what? Like you said, like having natural hair, it's like one day I'm like, man, you can't tell me nothing. And the next day I'm like, I'm a nappy mess. And it's just like back and forth. But you know what? There was an actual moment when I was like, wait a minute. And it's when I went to a commercial audition for natural hair. And I was like, wait a minute, I can do this.
Wow.
But the hair on my head didn't change. It was just like a light bulb moment. Like, wait a minute, there are all these other girls here. We all have natural hair. And it looks like we're all kind of figuring it out. But we're all, and somebody's going to get the job. And right? Like,
Yeah.
it was such a, and so with this podcast, it was never like I have all the answers because I absolutely don't. That's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to start this. I can sit down with all my hair crushes and be like, what are you doing?
yeah.
What are you using? I can get all up in it because sometimes, like we know, talking about our hair it's not always welcome. Sometimes I got a wig on and I want to pass it for my own, and somebody's like, love your wig, girl. And I'm like, shut up. But if you are coming on a show called Black Hair in the Big Leagues, you know I'm going to ask you, how you do that?
Right.
What
Right.
brand is it? Like,
Right.
real. And so
I read your you posted something like it was like the top 5 things maybe that you do for your hair, and I felt like it was so instructive and so helpful because I feel like the second that somebody tells me like this is what I do to get my hair to, you know, stop from being dry, it'll work for me for like 2 days, and then someone will come along and be like, coconut oil is not good for your hair, and I'll be like, wait, what? Have you guys found that, by the way? Has coconut oil been good
I
for your
can't use
hair?
it at all.
I can't do
cannot
it.
use it at all. My hair immediately like shrinks up into nothing. It's like super oily. I can't wash it out for like 4 washes. It's awful. It does not work for my hair at all.
I think that's a myth.
what about you,
coconut
Yaz? You
oil.
didn't say anything.
I don't really use oils. I don't do. I mean, I haven't tried coconut oil, but yeah, unless I'm doing like a hot oil treatment, I don't really do much. But I think also too, that's part of because like people in the diaspora, but especially here, we're so mixed that like there really isn't one answer for the hair issues, you know, that you face. And like, yeah, one day your hair you do the exact same thing. You can have 3 different looks. You know, your hair today is feeling it, and the next day it's like, I'm not really about that leave-in. And so it's it is trial and error constantly. And we are such mutts basically that like, I mean, we're all kind of around the same, like me, Rashidra, Gabs are around the same skin color, and yet we have 3 different types of hair on our head. Like there's no like one answer. So it is sort of trial and error all the time, I think.
Always. And I think like something that you were saying, Ashley, like when I see what other girls are doing and being transparent, not being like, I have all the answers. It's like, oh, she's just, that works for her. It makes me be like, oh, I like that, except for this part. Let me change that. And kind of like tailor fit it for myself, which I kind of like. But you, Ashley, I want to know, because I have watched your hair journey like more up close. I remember what your hair looked like when we were starting tour, and I know your hair is in 2 braids right now, but like I feel like you have been killing it. And I look at your photos, I was like, wait a minute, zoom in, look at this glow up. Yes.
Oh, thank you. I feel like you know what? I keep changing it. That's my problem, is I feel like my hair is like just starting to get used to the curls in it. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, I want to have long hair, and I'll put in twists. And then I feel like I take the twists out, and all of a sudden my natural hair is like, I don't remember what I was supposed to do. Yeah. And so I feel like for me, what I keep doing is I'm messing it up by not staying consistent. And I imagine that I feel like I know nothing. So I feel like I have nothing good to contribute. But it seems to me like if I could just let my natural hair be natural for a couple years, then the curls would start to learn what to do. Also, I keep doing things that I think are messing it up. Like I keep putting my hair in a ponytail, and I feel like when I take my hair out of the ponytail that it's breaking off the middle of my hair.
Oh.
I don't know if anybody else has found that, but like somebody told me once that like when I put my hair up in a ponytail every day and then I sweat in it, that like the sweat is breaking off the middle of my hair.
That's why I started using hair clips. That's why I started using hair clips, because my hair was breaking off in the middle when I would put it up in a ponytail every day.
In the middle? I'm sorry, this is the first I'm hearing of this.
Yeah, especially if you're not letting your scalp breathe. With us working out, we don't wash our hair all the time, so you got to get that clean and let it breathe, let it dry. Also, our hair takes way longer to dry. Right. That actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't.
I've never had it happen, but it makes sense.
So I don't know what to do. If I can't wear my natural hair in a ponytail a lot of the time, then I end up just like putting in a whole different style. Mm-hmm. And then I feel like I'm not allowing my curls to learn what it is they do. So I'm still struggling trying to figure out, how can I get my hair to be natural when I don't always have the time to make sure it looks good when it's completely out and free.
Yeah.
Like,
this is technically my ponytail. I don't do a tight.
Yeah, I like a loose one as well.
More of a poof. So
a pineapple.
Air getting in there, So that has worked for me anyway.
Yeah. I like that too, Gab.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a question for you, Gab. How did your hair change when you were pregnant? Did it change like from before to during to now?
I mean, it's a completely different thing. When it's now just back to what I would call pre-pregnancy hair. When my hair was always good. I feel like I was blessed with a good curl pattern. So I've always been able to do like a wash and go. And that was one of the reasons why I went natural, is because I didn't want to have to like do my hair all the time. I wanted to wash it, put some leave-in, some good moisturizer, and done. That's what I wanted to do. Thank God. I was blessed with that.
That's amazing.
I know, right? And then when I got pregnant, it got thicker, it got longer. I mean, it was literally growing down my back. It was magical. It was magical. Then after having Dash, I am just now to the point where my hairline was probably about half an inch farther back. My whole hairline fell out. I mean, like really? Like a halo, fully all the way around.
Like hormones? Like why?
Yeah, it's hormones. It's absolutely normal. Every woman goes through this.
Okay.
And I mean, even to the fact where when I was pregnant and I do my, detangles, probably half the amount of normal hair was coming out. It just didn't come out. It was so strong. And then as soon as I'd say about 2 weeks to a month after, it just literally, like, I could go like this and I could pull out pieces.
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that you're saying this out loud, because there's people who are about to be pregnant. Hello, we have been a quarantine. And who have
correct.
It's like, this is something that not everybody knows about. And so it's like.
Yeah. And when I look back, I just recently looked back in an old video. It was from September of last year. I had Dash in May of 19, and it was from September of last year. Literally, my hairline is gone, like shiny scalp.
That's very scary for those of us with large foreheads already. Like, what am I gonna look like?
I've heard
of hair, like your hair thinning and falling out. And hair loss post-pregnancy. I just didn't realize like the edges.
I would assume, assume it's probably different for, weird. I would assume it's probably different for everybody, but it really concentrated on the front and back of my hair, like the halo of my head. It was very weird. And for anybody out there who is listening and might be going through this, I was recommended an amazing product called Topic, Topik. You can get it on Amazon, easy peas. But it's literally a keratin, like little spray that it's like little fibers that attach onto your hair and it fills in the gaps.
Oh.
It is the most.
Wait a second, we can all use that.
Ever. We can all use it. It comes in all sorts of different colors. Sometimes you have to like mix it a little bit to like make your color. But literally, I used to have to spray it all the way around my edges. Now I just go like boop boop, and it's like
that kind of sounds like that commercial for men where they
it's literally that, but it's way better. It's a much better product. It's a much better product and much easier to use because it's like in a little spray bottle with like a little direct point spray thing. Like
good
a little
Topic with a K.
Topic with a K.
All right, well, I'll be writing that down. Thank you for sharing that. And I want to ask you, Rashidra, how is the hair sitch over at Company? Are you guys wigged? Are you not wigged? Is it half and half?
I think we're all wigged. Yeah, we're all wigged. I'm living for the fact that the hair designer Campbell, who did Campbell, who did our wig designs for the show, knows Gio, most of our hair guys.
Yes.
And he loves my natural hair. So he off my hair, like my natural Rashidra everyday hair. The curl has wide match. I have like the tiniest coils to life to match the color and just as far as having natural hair. So I was just so excited to be a Black woman on Broadway with natural hair. I don't know if you can hear me. I keep getting a pop-up that's like, your internet is unstable.
It's going in and out, but I am getting the gist of it. You're saying that, was it Gio or was it Campbell?
Campbell designed the wigs and he knows Gio. So once he found out who does my hair, he was like, cool, we're basing the wig off of your hair.
Great.
That's amazing. Because how often do we have to like wear straight, like, kind of like white girl hair just because that's the only thing that anyone's ever done before on Broadway? But how amazing to get to wear your own natural curl pattern.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys remember when my second leave of absence from Beautiful was when I went to do Anything Goes at Goodspeed. And I love Mark Adam Rampmeyer was the wig designer for that show. And the first time that I sat down with him for what was supposed to be like my wig wrap talk, he sat me down in the chair and he just handed me a small pack of pictures. And it was all Black women with hairstyles of the time period of the show and was like, let me know which of these styles you actually prefer. Because his whole thing was, and that was the first time that I'd had a wig designer come up to me as a Black woman and say, nothing drives me.
Wait, stop, because you broke up again. I want to hear what they said. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Am I back?
You're back.
It was just like, nothing drives me more crazy than going to a show with Black people that's supposed to be period, and everyone is just in a relaxed straight wig with the same European white looking hairstyles. That's not how your hair grows. That's not what your hair did. So why am I going to do that? He's like, you're our leading lady. I am going, here are a selection of pictures of what your hair would have actually looked like in that time period. And we had a whole conversation about which hairstyle was going to be my show wig. And
that's amazing.
It was cute. I'm like, yes, but that never, there are wig designers on Broadway who are good at giving you a cute, curly, wash and go-ish look. And they're good at setting and styling the wigs, but they don't necessarily have the reach of people who will keep that up.
Got it. Yeah.
Which is why you end up with wigs balding a year into your run and don't nobody fix it. But nobody on this Zoom knows what I'm talking about.
Like,
No.
honestly though, y'all, people don't think about that. Our wigs on Broadway are balding.
Yeah.
You got the same wig for years after that.
8 shows a week, man.
Like,
8 shows a week,
seriously, like that is a real thing that I've
Do
never.
y'all remember? I will not name the name, but there was a certain cast member that we worked with who knew that their wig was balding, and you can't do anything about it, but let somebody continue to put it on your head and pin it and then unpin it and take it off every night. And the whole, like, was it like right up in here? Basically, he had like a toilet bowl head with a wig.
Yeah.
And they just we were like,
never fixed it.
I'm sorry, that's not funny, but
you might as well wear your hair, because that's what I'm seeing under there.
Wow.
There was somebody's wig that, and this might have to be cut out. There was I think it was Deshawn's wig, where like it looked like they had sewn two things together. It was like a Frankenstein head wig. Where I was like, now I see this. How come nobody else is doing something? But don't put that on the
honestly, I'm about to have the boys on here next week, and so I'm gonna ask about it because I'm sure they have thoughts as well. Who?
Yeah.
The boys, the boys, they're gonna have some thoughts.
That's brilliant.
All right, so I'd like to know, all right, you just finished your show. You're feeling fabulous. You're a star. Time to go to the stage door and sign some autographs for your fans. How do you do your hair?
I put a hat on.
Hat, girl.
It's typically a hat. It's a hat.
Always a
We've
hat.
got a hat.
It's a hat.
You said doing wig prep 8 times a week. I do my wig prep on Tuesdays, and she don't come out till Sunday.
Till Sunday. In the early days, of my fro,
she hated how my braids look.
In the early days of my fro, I remember my wig prep was basically like 2 pin curls in the front. It was like 4 pin curls in the front and like 1 in the back. And so I was able to literally like just push the rest of it down underneath the wig cap. So I think that was pretty much the only time where I was able to actually have my hair out, and I just throw on a headband or something like that to cover up the front. But other than that, it's always a hat.
In an emergency scenario, you can always like put a bunch of water on your hair and sort of start all over again, right? Like that's the option. Like if you're going out, you know what I mean? Like if you're going to go on a nice date and you want to have your natural hair.
Oh, that's real. That's real.
You got it. Sometimes you got to just like, I feel like the water situation, like realizing that like a lot of times I just needed to like put some water on my hair. I know that doesn't sound like that's like that brilliant, but it really was like, it really opened my eyes where I was like, oh, I can just like start all over if I just put
so real because we've spent our entire lives relaxing and water was our kryptonite.
Totally.
It's so true.
Right.
That's not wrong to say at all. I will never forget the first time, because Nathan has also been in my life the whole time of my hair journey as well. And the first time where we were in the shower together, and he got my hair wet, and he literally was like, "I'm sorry," and I was like, "No," I was like, "It's okay."
It's not okay.
He literally was like, "Are you sure?" He was so thrown and like confused. He really thought I was going to murder him. Because normally I would have.
Right.
Like I remember the first time going on vacation as a natural and not having to think twice about being able to get my hair wet in the pool or the ocean, or the first time getting caught in the rain as a natural and not having to be that black girl like running trying to duck for cover. So I was like, no, I'm actually fine.
Not having to bring curlers, not having to bring rollers and stuff like that for sleeping with and it's magical.
Right. All right. So this might be a little controversial, but so sometimes people will like touch my hair and put their hands in my hair. And the controversial part is I like it. If it's me and a guy, I like them to pull it.
In the streets?
Not in the streets. But girl, are you talking about when you have a weave? Or are you talking about like because you're feeling good about your natural hair and all the work you put into it?
Well, yeah, my natural hair. Like if it's my natural hair, people are like, but like a lot of Black women, and I would like for y'all to chime in, are like, don't touch my hair. I just got the perfect afro shape or whatever it is. And I feel like I'm supposed to be mad because people are like, don't touch my hair, but I kind of am like,
I think that the touching the hair is about two different things. I think the first one is when I have a weave in my hair and there are people touching my hair, I don't want them to touch it because I'm a little self-conscious about the fact that
yes,
that's not my hair. And and so it's sort of just like, keep away. This is for looking. This is not for touching. And then the second thing is, I think sometimes people are touching your hair because they're white people that are just like, I've never seen hair like this. Why does it go out instead of down? And it's almost like makes you feel like you're a Frankenstein. And I think people are like mad, like, don't touch my hair, because they're like, it makes me feel like you're making me feel like an alien out here.
Like in a museum.
But listen, if I've got my hair done right and it's a sexual thing and I'm feeling like not self-conscious about it in any way, then I say, yeah, touch it. You know what? You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
No, 100%.
Yeah. Well, and
Different
also just like if it's my girlfriend who's like, oh my gosh, your hair looks so pretty. Do you mind if I'm like, yeah, go for it. But I don't want the number of times that I've literally just been out in the world and some stranger has been like, your hair, and stuck their hand into it. Like, this is not a petting zoo.
Right.
And like, well, and also like, again, like being the only Black girl 4 miles growing up, that was a question everyone loved to ask. Can I touch your hair? Why does it do that? It's so weird. Can you feel this if I touch it? Like I'm a human. What's happening right now? We're in class. Like we're in class. Like what's going on? Like it's so strange.
I don't want nobody touching my hair because if it's wet, then that means you're gonna jack up my curl pattern. If it's dry, you don't know how to run your hands through my hair. And so I got my curl pattern. And now what was cute is now going to be a froey, staticky mess. And it's all your fault. So no, keep your hands out my head.
I don't think anybody should run their hands through a curl pattern because like it's never going to survive.
Like, can I touch your hair? And they're like, and I'm like, okay, well that's
no.
The curls just trash.
Yeah, no, touching the hair just means like a hey.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even run my hand through a white girl's curl. You know what I mean? Because white girls do just as much for their curls as we do. They got to do product and all the things too. But yeah, I feel you on that. I think the situations can be so different. You know what I mean? And stranger wise, no. In the bedroom, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, speaking
I have time to redo it after this.
Hey, I'm like, pull it, tug it. It feels good, huh? Anyway. Okay, speaking of our white counterparts, I want to know your opinions. Is it okay? I'm just asking the question, okay?
Ask the question.
Is it okay for white girls to wear braids and dreads?
For the most part, I want to say yes. For me, this is probably just completely me. For the most part, I want to say yes. I think my issue comes from where there is no when they do it and then there's no nod to where it came from. For instance, sometimes kind of like the Kardashian effect has been a lot of that, where they'll go on Instagram with these braids and blah, 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 and not give any nod to where braids came from and what dreads are supposed to be and the actual religious reason of dreads and, you know, things like that from the Rasta culture and everything like that. That kind of bugs me a little bit because and I know that a lot of it was because of, you know, racial oppression of why we straightened our hair all the time to try to be more like them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? On the other side. So for me, I don't necessarily mind it. I think a lot of it just comes on the other side of it, of giving the nod to where it actually came from, which doesn't happen a lot, I feel like.
Right on. Rashidra?
I used to think I didn't care. And then this summer, I saw pictures of a couple of white girls I know with like box braids or braids with extensions. And I definitely had a to myself visceral reaction. Mm-hmm. So that tells me, no, I'm not okay with it. Have I explored past that? No. I just know that's how I felt.
Yeah. Wow. No, I've definitely had the reaction before too. And I think I still have the reaction also. I'm just trying to figure out a way to.
Yeah, it kind of rubs me the wrong way.
Would be okay.
Yeah. I don't know exactly. Like I haven't like actually sat down with myself and like really looked into why it bothers me, but I always kind of bristle when I see it. But I mean, I think it has to do with sort of what you were saying. Like in general, we don't like things that are things like big lips and butts and braids and head wraps and stuff is ugly or bad or something when we do it, and then it's, you know, you want big lips like Angelina Jolie, huh? But we've been had what?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's a big butt like somebody like J-Lo, who's, you know, Puerto Ricans, they part of us, but like it's never, they never celebrate like actual like straight up Black women for these features, and then someone else gets the credit, and so there's something in that still like makes me bristle.
Yeah,
and so
we're still having to fight to get braids or natural hairstyles considered professional. We're still having to fight
correct
to not have rules made against our natural hairstyles, so that like we can't walk into certain places of business as employees with our natural hair in certain ways because it's looked down upon and frowned upon and seen as unprofessional. Yet you see a white person do it and all of a sudden, oh my God, it's so cute, and it's acceptable and they can pass with it. Like that, no, that's not how this works.
For those of you that don't know, she's speaking of the Crown Act. Google it.
Correct.
So we're all in the know. But you're right, to piggyback on that, you look back to the 80s where we were relaxing our hair like crazy, but white girls were teasing their hair to the ceiling in schools, and they weren't getting kicked out of school. But today, a little girl comes in with an afro and she's getting sent home.
Or getting sent to the back of the classroom so she's not obstructing people's view.
She's not obstructing the view. It's like, it's so crazy. It's just as soon as you put the word Black in front of it, it's a problem.
Yeah, it's a double standard. And until it's all fixed, I need you to maybe not wear those braids quite yet. Okay. That's sort of how I feel.
So definitely something about what you said, Rashidra, and I'm trying to look up the girl's name right now. A few days ago, I believe, there was a reporter on the news.
Weather woman.
Yes.
The meteorologist, weather woman. What am I?
But I know who you're talking. Like I'm trying to look for her name right now, and
the one who had the afro, like the hairstyle, like the buns and stuff.
This Black woman who wore her natural hair on national television as on the media, on the news, on the news floor, and it was a natural hairstyle, and people kind of had all sorts of opinions. What y'all think?
I mean, I think she looked beautiful.
I was gonna say, I think it's fabulous. I didn't see it, but I think it's fabulous. I'll have to go for it.
It's stunning.
It's stunning. Yeah.
I thought it was beautiful. She kind of looked like, what's that actress's name that always sort of wears those like high hairstyles on the red carpet?
Janelle Monáe? No,
but it was sort of in that
thing.
Yeah. I can't think of her name right now, but she's always giving you a fierce crown. Like I just thought it was. I thought it was beautiful.
Honestly, when I saw it, I didn't even think anything of it. I was like, oh, fierce. And then I looked at it again and was like, oh, this doesn't usually happen. This is a big deal. And I feel hopeful that my first reaction was work and not, oh my gosh, how dare she. I'm like, that's a baby step in the right direction of like perception changing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember when some natural girls went natural on the Miss America stage, my first reaction was,
oh, wow. Oh, I bet so.
Yeah. And then it was like, wait, no.
This was not even a thought in my.
Right. Rashidra?
My pageant days, I was relaxing my hair to get a wet and wavy weave in my hair because the woman who weaved my hair wouldn't weave natural hair. So she would put a relaxer in my hair just to braid all my hair up to sew a weave into my head. That was wet and wavy.
That's oppression. That is oppression.
Whoa.
Yes.
Because
in so
wavy
many
curls
ways
are acceptable if they're like shoulder length or mid back length. But Black curls, and my pageant days were 2000 to 2003 for Miss America system. That was we didn't do that. And I would do the wet and wavy so that through outside of pageant week, I could wear it still curly and wavy.
Oh no, the internet has failed you again.
And I was also spending all of that time.
Yep, you failed.
So wait, where we lost you? It said it was curly and wavy. What did you say after that? I can hear you, Rashidra.
I would wear it curly through it, like for outside of pageant week, and then pageant week I would straighten it.
Yeah.
Which is really annoying.
Yeah. No, I absolutely feel you on that. And I'm like, I think things are changing. I'm like excited about our Miss USA right now, who has huge natural hair. She's about to give up her crown in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, like everyone was women of color last year, right?
Yes.
Like all of them. It was
That's amazing.
And that's just like Rashidra, like you were saying, like back in the day, that was not a thing. So
No.
all right. I know we're gonna start wrapping up soon, you guys, because this is still election day. It's still a big day. All of the
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I just have
I quit.
a couple more questions. Let's see here. I have a question for you guys. So I know a couple of y'all are like booed up, and by booed up I mean all the way married up. And so, but think back, and even how you feel now when you are dating, when you're even for date night, would you do your hair differently if you are dating a white person versus a black person?
No.
I'm obviously not for me. I went natural while I was dating a black person. While I was dating a white person, rather. We were married. Let's see. I went natural properly in 2011. I tried about 2 years prior to that while I was doing the Happy Days tour. I was like, I'll just do the slow grow out. But I was the only black person in the entire company, in the entire touring company. And my mind was not set up for what I was getting ready to do. And I had no one to talk to about it. And I was in Hershey, PA, and I found this one black salon. And I said, girl, if you don't put that relaxer in my head right now.
Right.
And bless her heart, wherever she is in this land. Like, as she was pouring the activator in, she was natural. And she was like, Gabrielle, I will help you. You can, like, making the relaxer, like, she was like, it's okay. You can call me anytime you want. If you don't want to do this, she was literally separating my hair. Like,
oh my gosh.
I will help you, like, ready to do it. It was so funny. But then finally, 2 years later, over a couple bottles of wine in the middle of my living room, I went to Walgreens and bought some cheap hair shears and had my friend cut it off.
Wow.
It was just time. It was time. And it was funny. Before I even said it, Nathan, when he finally saw the reveal, I made him go in the other room. The first thing he said to me, he was like, I see you.
Oh.
He was like, you look like you.
Oh.
And that, before I even said anything, that's what he said to me.
That's very sweet.
There's a festival at Randall's Island every year, and I'm sure this year it was canceled. But have you all been to this festival?
We always had a show. We always had a show, but it was in July or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went last year, and I was sobbing the entire time because I don't know if anybody realizes, like, until you're in that moment where it's only Black girls with natural hair, how safe you feel all of a sudden to have your hair just going out and proud and loud, and how different that feels from normally. I don't think you even realize the amount of oppression that we deal with every day, but until you're in that moment where you're on a bus filled with only girls with natural hair, and where you're walking around just you would love this, Salisha, man, next time, because there's products everywhere and they give you free samples and they're just celebrating Black girl hair. Anyway, I realized that even though I had my hair natural, I was still pulling it, and I still do this by like just habit, pulling it downwards to try to get it to go down. Yeah. And this girl at the park was like, pull it up, pull it out. Like, it looks better if you are pulling it outwards. And I feel like that's part of what you were saying, Gabrielle, is that, like, I don't know, it takes a lot to just teach yourself about how natural hair how it's supposed to like my hair isn't supposed to go, it isn't supposed to go down in the back, it's supposed to go up.
It took me a good probably 4 years first off, because it was a tiny fro, I did the chop, so it took me at least a good maybe 4 or 5 years before I had enough length to where I could even start trying to pull it down. And then even after that, still about another 2 years before I finally was like, stop it. Not the way your hair grows. Right. Just moisturize it, keep it healthy, and let it do what it does. That's the whole point of why you did this. You're
Right,
not
and
trying to make it go down. It doesn't go down. It doesn't do
it
it.
doesn't go down.
Yeah, it doesn't want to do it. Mine
the
doesn't.
amount of oppression that's there that you literally have to like figure out that you're doing, and then be like, girl, you're still trying to get your hair to be straight. You're still buying into literally somebody saying that your hair, instead of being proud, should be smaller.
Yes,
should be,
yes.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's literally like oppression
Yeah.
in the form of like physically what I'm physically doing to my body is to make it like not as big, not as proud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trying to make it
do.
smaller, trying to make it
Yes.
less than it is. And I feel like this is kind of a soapbox for Black women in general, that like we have really been taught that we are too loud, that we are too strong. When the truth is that like, because of all that we have faced, our bodies are, I mean, we're phenomenal. We are phenomenal. And all that we have learned is to try to make that phenomenal stuff be smaller and be quieter and not be as strong. And I just feel like we gotta like be aware of that as much as
really
possible.
I
That
mean,
like we're kind of superior.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'm using the word. Like, I mean, the things that our bodies can do are, we've been trained that going big and proud is a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we came from a legacy of queens, like we are queens. But with that said, do you make yourself smaller or the same if you're dating a white guy?
Hell no, he gotta learn.
No.
And like,
I learn.
you know, but also like I wanted to piggyback off of what Ashley was saying, like something I've been thinking about recently with all of the discussion that's been happening online and people trying to educate themselves. I thinking about my own experience, like I think it's as we get older and you start to examine things and like kind of decide what your viewpoint is on things, I think it's much easier to dismiss and discount things that people who don't look like you say about you. It's easy for me to write the kids off from class or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I think we, as our generation has a very clear responsibility to not, what is the word I'm looking for? Perpetuate that mentality, because a lot of times the most stuff that I've heard, the most negative, but phrased as a compliment, the most negative things I've heard about my hair and my skin, all that stuff, a lot of times have come from Black people, and they don't mean it. They don't even, they literally mean it as a compliment. And I think it's harder to disassociate the negativity that has been passed down and beaten into all of our generations when it's coming from the same person who loves you, from who isn't saying it to you to hurt you, who isn't saying it to you because they think they're trying to keep you down. In their mind, they're protecting you. And in their mind, they're just repeating things that they've heard. You know, when your grandmother, whatever, is like, baby, you just got this bad hair. Now here's some breakfast and I love you and go to school. That's all wrapped up in that same moment. And it's like, you kind of have to, it's our responsibility to disassociate those things, to like love our babies and love each other. I mean, I think something freeing, maybe I really want to go to that thing on Randall's Island, is it's also a bunch of Black women who are there celebrating themselves. I'm not against women who like want to straighten their hair and wear a wig, like versatility, live your life, it's your life.
Right.
But there is something to be said too about also having a genuine appreciation and love of what grows out of your head and what your body makes, you know? And so
I think we have a responsibility, like our generation, to like what you just said. It is so real. It's how our parents grew up and how their parents grew up. And it's just down. And now it stops with us to lift each other up, to tell our kids how beautiful their natural hair is, that it's not nappy and unkempt and unsuitable for the professional world, because it's a new day and that is not true. So,
and it wasn't said out of like, they weren't trying to hurt you.
Right.
In their mind, they're like, you straighten this hair because you got to get a job. And you know what I mean? And like, because it was a survival thing. Yes. The closer you were to white, the easier your experience. Yeah. So like, it was never, honk, thanks for that support, random person.
That was such good timing. That's right, girl. That's right.
Yes. Learn depression.
But yeah, I mean, I just think I'm going to try and make a concerted effort to not do my part to continue that legacy of pain that has been pushed into our culture and has been just driven into our mindset and our psyches.
Yeah, that was also another reason of my going natural, was that I knew Nathan and I were going to have kids at some point, and whatever that child was, particularly a girl, that absolutely 100%, there would never be a relaxer in this house. Never, ever. And they would never even know what a relaxer was. And I felt like the best way for me to know that and for me to be able to teach that was for me to know that in myself.
Personal.
And really needed to be a real model for that, because I'm the first role model Chaz, you know what I mean?
Right.
And especially in this darn COVID world, only people he knows, period.
Right.
Oh my God.
I accidentally went natural.
It
was a complete accident. I was on a Disney Cruise Line job, and because I had gotten this job, I was going to be in Toronto for 6 weeks in rehearsals, and then on the ship, I didn't know what I was going to do with my hair. So I was like, oh, I'll just put in micro braids just to get me through rehearsals and getting on the ship until I can figure out what to do with my hair. But then I got cast in a dance number that, what was told to me, no Black girl before had been cast in this track, because in the chorus, there was one count that was literally just a hair flip, and we had never had hair to flip. But because I had the micro braids, I could flip my hair. And so I got cast in this thing. Now, granted, then it got cut because I got titties and stuff and things.
And you knocked yourself out and gave yourself a black eye.
It wasn't me. The costume that he had was a very tight dress, and it was on the family pool that they had like this cover that would go over the pool at night so that we could do shows on it. But like the kids were literally just right there. And it was, I mean, they tried many things, but they weren't going to change the costume.
Got it.
Because again, no Black woman had ever been in that track. So probably not as voluptuous. So it got cut. It was fine. But because of doing that track, I then had to keep these micro braids in. And so, this was 8 months, 8.5, 9 months between rehearsals and getting off the ship that I had these braids. Like, I would take them out and then like slowly take them out and then get them put back in. And as I started taking them out, like the third time, I was like, wow, this is like, you know, like you take your hair. Well, it didn't even fall, like my hair never fell out. I didn't even deal with that. It was just, as I was taking the braids out, I would notice like my hair was really curly around the roots, and I just assumed, oh, that's just like a crimp from the braids. It'll go away when I wash my hair. And then I would wash my hair and I'd be standing in the mirror about to blow dry it to prep it to get my hair braided again. And I'm like, huh. So it was literally just my tight, coily curls and then just bone straight. Because I never cut the relaxer out. Because where was I going to get my hair done to cut the relaxer out? It was already enough finding someone who could braid my hair, I won't deal with no cutting relaxer out. And then I had a week between getting off the ship and moving to Orlando to start a job at Disney World. So same thing. It was like, tried and true, these micro braids, let me get these braids in till I figure out what to do with my hair. What I didn't know, the show I was doing at Walt Disney World, they would add like colorful pieces. It was Tarzan Rocks. It was a very like rock based show. And they would add colorful clip-ins to your hair, like to match your hair, just to kind of have a fun thing. And because when I went in for my costume fitting, I had these braids, they made braided pieces to match my braids. So I couldn't take the braids out. So now I'm 19 months into, I have no choice but to keep these braids because of work. And then I booked Hong Kong Disneyland. Same thing. Like, I sure ain't gonna find nobody to do my hair in China. So let me just go and keep these braids and figure out what to do when I get there. That's when I finally officially went natural, was because when it was about time for those, I'm talking baby, them braids were hanging on. Like I didn't even have that much, like it was about that much growth. And I was like, I can't get it out. I don't know what to do. I had a friend of mine, one of my cast members, is a jack of all trades. Like in the 15 years I've known him, he's been a background singer, a manager at salons. He was making, he had a business making lace front wigs. He's been a dancer. He does lots of things. But he was another cast member. And when I took my braids out one night, he was like, "Your hair is gorgeous. What are you doing? Your hair is just like mine. Here, let me help you." So he put a texturizer in my hair just because I didn't know what I was doing. And Gab, same thing like with you and Nathan. I walked into rehearsal the next day to an entire cast saying, "Oh my God, your hair finally fits you."
Wow.
And I was like, what do you mean? And I've never had a relaxer, I've done weaves, and every once in a while I'll get bored and try to do braids, but Gio yells at me and I'm not allowed to do individual braids because my hair just like to fall out.
I love Gio, and I love that. Y'all.
But yeah, like, so that's how I went. But like, I'm also dealing with, it took from when I went accidentally natural, started in 2004. And from 2004 until about 2007, every time I knew I was going to see my mother, I would get my hair straightened. Whether it was making an appointment to get a hot comb, because I was like, I don't feel like the argument is going and fights, and because, you know, of course, like Yasmeen was saying, like all our parents know, and especially being from the South, like deep slave South, like my high school was named after the plantation land it was built on. South, like, you gotta assimilation, you gotta be as close to white as you can be. And that's all my mom knew. So every time, like, I always had to hear it from her, like, "You don't walk out the house with your hair looking like that. It's just so nappy. It's just so kinky. It's just," and I was like, you know what? I don't feel like it. So I would just straighten my hair every time. And it brings me such joy. My youngest sister and I have different mothers, but it brings me such joy, the difference in those generations. I was talking to my youngest sister. She has two girls now. And she full on was like, "Oh no, they are never seeing a relaxer a day in their lives if I have anything to say about it."
Yeah.
Good.
Like,
wow.
There is a movement now.
Different thing.
Yeah.
There's
just no need to. Like, you know, you can straighten it if you want to. You know what I mean? There's just no need to chemically straighten it anymore.
There's no, and listen, if you want to do that because it's easy for your life,
and you know, live your life. And some people just like their hair straightened. That's fine. But I think now it's not about having to do it to please anybody. It's doing it because that's the way you actually
That's how you want it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Y'all, we have gone way over time. Thank you. I am so grateful for all your souls, all of your stories, your input, your spirits. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for doing this, Salisha.
Yeah, thanks, Salisha, for having us
before
on.
We've all been listening to the past episodes. It's a really great podcast, and I'm so proud of you for doing
Thank you. I'm like, I wanted to. Oh, we just lost Ashley. But I'm so.
She was like, "That's enough."
I'm so glad to have you guys on, and I wanted to like write you earlier, but I wanted to make sure that I could get you guys together. So, thank you.
Well, and
thank you,
Salisha. I say one last thing.
Yes.
The one thing that I hope for when we get back, because it's gonna come back, when Broadway, the theater industry comes back, I pray to God that some of these hair people are taking classes on how to braid and prep Black hair. Because I don't think I'm gonna have to spend my half hour prepping my own hair because you don't know how to do it. But none of my white castmates got to do. You can come in their dressing room and do their pin curls and do their wig prep. They don't even know how to do their own wig prep because it's always done for them. But no.
Well, I will say, before Beautiful ended, Jen was saying, she was asking a few of us in the cast, she was like, would you mind maybe being like a hair model for me, because she was starting a class. She was like, I want to start teaching hair departments and people how to work with Black textures.
Jen Bullock. She's
like, and you got Jen Bullock, and sorry, I'm like Jen.
Everybody knows Jen.
Hey girl. No, but she was like, there's so many different textures in this one show that she was asking a bunch of us to come in, just be like, okay, for this type of hair and for this type of hair and for this type of hair. So I know it's already, there's at least one person who's been thinking about that and looking out for it. And I think maybe it's because so many girls at Beautiful were on a hair journey and going natural and had different started their wig prep one way and it changed by the time they left or by the time the show closed. So maybe that kind of put the idea in her head. But I know that her mind was already there. Like what? When did we close? Last October, a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she was already starting.
Almost just over a year ago, like literally like 3 days over a year.
Yeah.
Because like I even remember talking about the differences in texture. Like I remember every once in a while when you would go get your hair done and you would get it straightened, all of y'all, and I would be like, it's a week later and your hair's still straight and I can't even get through a show.
Well, I haven't chemically straightened my hair for years, but sometimes I would get bored and press it out in the winter just to change it up.
Yeah, and honestly, you could leave it that way for a week and I couldn't get through a show.
Listen, it was pure laziness, and also it was way harder to do wig prep with straight hair because our hair, you braid it and it's still like living its life off to the right as a braid, and I would it's just like, handle your business, girl. I'll just be over here being a braid, and like. But when I would straighten it, I was like, this shit is annoying because I would braid it and would just fall right out. I was like, this is for the birds, actually. I want my hair back.
Right.
I just wasn't used to it. So I was like, man, this ain't for me.
I do have one question before we go. Rashidra, you mentioned like Gio was like, don't get braids, your hair gonna fall out. And I want to know because I want to get braids. What do you have in your hair right now? Are these twists? What is it?
He hasn't seen these.
I mean, what? No, look at your unbraided hair.
But I did these myself though. So the consolation, that's not the word I'm looking for. Whatever word I'm looking for. Where we met in the compromise, there we go.
Here we go.
Was that I was allowed to do crochet braids.
Okay.
Because for me, and I think it's different with everyone's journey. For me, my issue is my edges. And like when I'm doing a show and the lace front and the wigs going on and off and pins, right here and right here, I have twin sides of my temples that I just go bald. Like people will see me, like my cousins will see me and be like, what's happening with your hair? I'm like, girl, I'm in a show. And as soon as I'm not in the show for 6 months, it'll starts to grow back. But I've very rarely, thank God, not been in the show for 6 months. So this is looking crazy because I did this myself. I did the rubber band method of twisting my hair. So I
need you to explain. I don't know.
You gotta Google it because it's insane. It's such a cool thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's literally a rubber. I don't know if you can see it. But there's a rubber band right here.
At the
root. And
so
like I
of
just
each
part
one.
my hair, split it. Yeah, for each one. And that's how. So I did this myself, which also means, but that's also why there's so much like,
it looks really
my hair left out right now because I did it myself and I don't actually know what I'm doing. But also because I'm trying to just make it still healthy for my hair.
Right.
Because his whole thing with me not doing individuals is because most times when you get your hair done, individual braids, they like to be yanking like a small piece of hair this big, and yanking it for Jesus. And my hair is so soft. And what ends up happening for me, because my coils are so tight, when they've grabbed such small pieces, my hair just continues to curl. And so it eventually just curls so taut that it literally just rips out from the root. And so all my edges were gone from one set of braids for 4 to 6 weeks. So crochet with my friends. Or
crochet braids.
I will say crochet. I tried some crochet braids earlier this year. And like, I really well, first of all, it's half the time.
Oh my God.
Because when I've gotten braids before, I'm easily in that chair for like 10 hours, maybe a second session.
Why is it so much faster?
I have a wonderful girl for you to go to. Actually, yes, went to the same girl.
I went to her. She's amazing.
It's called Mixed Tresses.
Because they're already
fabulous. What were you in and out of there in about an hour and a half?
It was like 2 hours.
Yeah, hour and a half.
She what's it called?
She's great, and she
does
your
hair. She cornrows your hair to your and like with mine, even with the length, like she literally she sent me a picture of it because I was like, what are you doing back there? How is this working? And so she cornrowed this part straight back, and then she would literally weave the length of it through the part that she cornrowed, and then she crochets the braids to the cornrows. So like it literally takes 0 time.
Bomb. You said Mixed Tresses Salon?
Mixed Tresses Salon. Yeah, I'll send you a link.
Sweet.
She's great.
Her
name is Erica. She's cool as hell.
like seriously. And yes, I don't think I saw any photos of you with
It's right across the street from my house.
I want to see your hair in those crochet braid. Like that sounds so bomb. And Rashidra, I love yours. So you guys, I really do love them. And I'm like, man, I really want some. But I'm always wondering, like, and you don't have braids, like you just said, but I'm always wondering, do braids, if I get braids, will it give my hair a break, or when I take them out, will my hair need a break?
It's both. It'll give your hair a break, but you still have to take care of your hair underneath the braids. You still have to wash your scalp. You still have to moisturize. You still have to possibly take a hair dryer to your scalp and dry the braids, because your braids can end up molding if you're not drying them properly. And blah, blah. Honey, it's still a thing. So you got to make sure that you go to somebody who really knows what they're doing and can give you proper care techniques for it. And
that's the thing is
end up on the whole other side after you take them out. And
it's making sure that like whoever you go to is as concerned with your natural hair. They're more concerned with the health of your hair than they are with the way that the braids come out.
Because
that's oftentimes what would happen. Like, and I love my Africans, but you know, you go to the random Africans on the corner in Brooklyn, they're not concerned about your hair health.
Nope. They wanted to look bomb.
When I would go
and it will
and tell them, you please grab more, like I need you to take more hair when you're doing the ones around the edges, and like no, that won't look good. And I'm like, I don't care what looks good, I need to not be bald around my edges by the time I take these out.
Wow. Right.
Like, you know, like you have to, and I've found someone out here in Jersey, but she's a 5-minute walk from my apartment. It's glorious. She's actually who did my my crochet braids, but she's also cornrowed my hair, which was still like a thing for me, because again, they like to be pulling your hair real tight and changing the shape of your eyes because your scalp is pulled so tight. And she is all about the health of your hair, because she's like, it doesn't do me any good to ruin your hair and what you're already coming into me with, because you're never going to come back.
Yes.
Right.
Like, I need my work to look good, but I also need your hair to still be healthy when you're done with it.
Wow. This is that girl, Erica?
No, this is somebody else out here in Jersey.
Yeah.
But Erica's she's of that same.
This girl is in Washington Heights.
But she also is very much of that same philosophy. Like she's all about taking care of your hair.
Same.
While she does it, and you know, while she makes you look pretty.
Yeah.
All right, I love you guys.
I give you champagne.
Oh, she does. She does give you champagne. I forgot about that.
Oh, we love a champagne, honey.
Yeah, she cute.
Now here's the problem. Now y'all done talked about her on this podcast, and that nobody's gonna be able to get an appointment.
That's true. That's really
It's amazing, and she gives you champagne. Good luck.
It's okay. If she gives me a discount, fine.
You guys, I love you guys. Don't actually hang up, but we're gonna say goodbye. Okay. Love you guys.
Love you
so much fun with you guys.